You can go.
Well, Nate, Joe Montana. Who's this? Wait, Nate.
Huh? I'm a Bills fan.
Bills fans have to break out the bags. Forget about it. We're going to cry.
Aye.
How bad could you be? 600 yards against the most yards a San Francisco team has ever gained on another team. They have pretty good teams over the years. Do you ever hear a guy named John Brody? What about, do you ever hear a guy named
Wyatt Tittle?
No,
Hugh McElhenney?
No, wait, no, I'm talking
Steve
San Francisco. Steve Young and Joe Montana never had that many yards in their lives. Is this Alex Smith the equivalent of Joe Montana? What happened?
I don't know. It's the NFL. Everyone's supposed to be pretty damn good. All these guys, they're all very talented. I mean, they say any given Sunday, but here it is, 2 weeks in a row, 6 quarters for sure, because I guess we won the first half of that New England game.
In the last 6 quarters, we've been outscored 90-10.
90-10, and it's like 780 yards or something like that.
80-point differential. Yeah, well, there's... Yeah,
no, way more than that. No, it's got to be...
There's 1,100 yards
No, it's
in the
1,200 yards between the 2 games, and like 900 just for the 6 quarters. Only the second half of...
Yeah, we're not talking... They had a good first half against New England. I don't know where that team is. I don't know where it is. They just don't know how to stop people on defense. What's going on with our defensive line? The linebackers were in against New England. I read in the paper in the middle of the week that Shepard, our middle linebacker is supposed to be our best. 10 total plays. So they totally said, people were saying they want to pick your poison. I guess they just wanted to be poisoned both by the run and the pass because they had 2 running backs that ran for 100 yards against New England. We didn't have 2. We got close, though. If the field was 20 yards longer, they would have because they scored at that last drive.
Right.
And if they just needed more, I was saying if the quarterback gets sacked and then they hand off the ball, they'll have 200-yard runs.
Yeah, because there's a 300 yards of rushing, which is also when you're running for 300 yards. You might as well be running with the Super Bowl, the Lombardi Trophy is what's going on. I mean, are we really? Are the Bills that bad?
I don't know.
They look
San Francisco is
bad.
a great team. They destroyed the Jets, who destroyed us. So obviously, we're a much,
Well, we're nowhere near
them.
We're nowhere near where we thought we may have been. And again, you have those off-season blinders that we always think we're going to be good.
I'm going to wear the Sabres uniforms until the Bills win a game. I don't know if they're going to, but at least the Sabres right now are undefeated.
Well, that's more than the Bills can say. And the Bills aren't. I know they can say they're 2-3, and in another season, I'd say, okay, 2-3, we're still in the mix.
Yeah.
But we are the bad 2-3 right now.
We're really bad. We can't do anything. And I kind of thought they'd be 2-3 at this point, but I didn't think they'd lose like this. I thought when we got this new defensive line, and we got a bunch of injuries towards the end. And this, again, Anderson, I still think he's a great guy to have, but he shouldn't be a starter. He shouldn't be playing the whole game. He should be coming in on third down and be a person. You got a big fat guy there in first and second, stop the run. On third down, when there's third and long, you bring in a fresh Anderson. He could stop the run. He's not beat up because he's not that big, and he's a great pass rusher. You bring him in late. But the whole idea of bringing in the new defensive line is that our offense is going to have a shorter field. They're going to get the ball back quicker. They're going to go a lot of 3 and outs on the other side, and all of a sudden our offense is going to be better because our defense is so good. As it turns out, the defense is so bad, even though if our offense is halfway decent, like they were against New England, they're playing catch-up at the end, and Fitzpatrick's throwing interceptions playing catch-up. Against San Francisco, they were never in it. Although at halftime, the score is 10-3, and we fumbled the ball, and we really just, the
only bright spot from the week before, Chandler, becomes right with the rest of the other team, just as bad.
But even coaching, now listen to me. There's 39 seconds left. You got the ball at your own 20. They have no timeouts left. If you run it into the line, they have to use their last timeout. You're going to punt the ball away with say, 34, 33 seconds, and with no timeouts. What are they going to do? Of course, we fumbled, and they got a touchdown on the next play. But just to me, why even throw a 10-yard pass? You're not going to march down in those 39 seconds.
Well, we are. This team isn't going to, for sure.
Why not take the safe route? Run the ball on the line, make them use their last timeouts. Now you go to halftime, it's 10-3. You're in a game that you maybe shouldn't be in it. You're offensively, the numbers are pretty close.
I don't know about that.
No, at halftime.
Well,
Halftime,
yeah.
they're pretty close, and you're only down by a touchdown. They took away a friggin' touchdown on us, a stupid holding that wasn't even there.
Yeah, that was.
And he's probably one of our best players right now.
Yeah, now he looks like the best
McKelvin.
player. He's the only guy that's pumped up. He's the only guy that's got any energy.
He's just unbelievable.
Well, the thing about it is, and you were talking about Anderson and that sort of thing, and maybe some, but who cares? Even if he was starting on that first down, to be that bad, I mean, you've got to be bad.
Well, they're running right at him. They're definitely running right at him, but they're running at everybody. Nobody's doing anything.
No, and they pass that Gilmore. I don't know. I feel like it's got to be the coaching because I see in these other teams
the same thing. He didn't know where to go. He got caught in no man's land. He the other cornerback took him, and he started to step in to go to get that wide receiver down low, and it was like identical, the same pass against New England that he got burned down in that end zone, and the same exact thing, he gets burned the same exact way.
Well, another thing too,
so he didn't learn from the week before.
Well, okay, so our defense is terrible. Wannstedt doesn't deserve to be there, and hopefully he's gone sooner rather than later, even though he won't be unless they're all gone. So we don't really want that because that means it's all shot, but hey, you know what? Maybe we do. I'm not really sure yet. But on the offensive side, who's the best player on offense? Spiller has been.
Yeah. Well,
Gailey didn't even give him the ball.
Well, the whole problem too is
the only good play we had was to give Spiller the ball. He had a nice little run. We didn't get into the end zone.
Well, the offensive line is all beat up again. They talked about two guys in there.
Though.
They're still doing okay, but I'm just saying. 3 weeks ago, I said, I just want this offensive line to stay healthy all the way through the season. We knew it was going to be a rough ride up to San Francisco. We knew we were going to have a hard time beating New England. I mean, those are teams we probably had marked off as losses in the book in the beginning of the year. We were hoping we go down to Phoenix next week and get a win, but then we come right back against two more tough opponents. Our easy part of the schedule is all the way down to the last part of the schedule. We need to stay around 500 after like 6 or 7 games. But I don't know if there's no hope right now to winning games if their defense continues to play like this. Although the 2 games that we won against Cleveland and Kansas City, our defense looked like gangbusters. So we're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde right now. But we have 2 of the worst back-to-back defensive performances
ever
since 1950. The New York Yanks was the name of the team in the National Football League. Was the last team to give up 2 consecutive 500-yard games. And I mean, we are just bad. I don't know what Wannstedt is, but I think Wannstedt should get your bag that you were wearing and wear it in the thing and wear it in Buffalo because he's just bad. He's not a good defensive coordinator. What about Perry Fuel? Can we get Perry Fuel back? Is it too late?
He should just be the head coach.
Well, I saw him yesterday coaching the defense for the Super Bowl champion New York Giants. And we had that guy. What's the problem? Is our coaching staff just can't identify talent? Is there a problem? They can't identify who's too talented?
I can't answer it, and you know what? Gailey obviously can too. What's his quote? I don't know.
Well, Gailey says this is a production business, and if you're not producing, you're going to lose your
so I mean,
job.
he knows. I mean, to me, the writing's on the wall in a way.
I was looking at Dick Duran's record this morning. He had 3 straight 7-9 seasons, which is 7-14-21, and then they fired him at 3-6. So he had 24 wins, and he had 9, 18, 27, and 330. So it was 27-31. He only had 4 less. This guy, what's his freaking record right now? He's like 11-22 or something. He's got like
13-25 or something.
I got to go look at Harv Johnson's record and see if it's worse. But I don't think any coach in the history of the Bills is any. He can't. I think he's better than anybody.
Well, another thing too is if we had, and again, it all goes back to the quarterback. If you had a young guy, we were struggling a little bit, but he was making some gains.
Well,
you'd say, hey,
there's a big upside here.
Right.
But there's no upside to Fitzpatrick.
There was a 3rd and 2.
This is as good as he gets.
3rd and 2, they split out Spiller. He goes deep. He had him beat.
Yeah.
It's a touchdown.
If he hits him, yeah.
If he hits him, it's a touchdown.
Hit that.
Even the Jones interception, if he hits him there, I mean, he's got him beat.
That was terrible.
And he threw it so short.
When you went up in the air, you just thought, wow, this still doesn't look
You could tell when he was releasing it.
It's like it's going to be up in the air forever. It's going to be a jump ball up
He's
there.
not good.
He's good at certain things. He's good at these little short
little passes. He's a backup quarterback, though.
But that's not good enough for the NFL. It's not good enough to win you games. And if our defense is playing the way it is right now, it's not good enough. And the problem is there is no backup. There's no backup. They put in Tyler Thigpen to hand off the ball twice to end the clock. Why didn't they just leave him in there? Were they afraid of getting him hurt to hand off the ball? I mean, that's all they did. I said, let Tyler throw the ball.
Well,
you never know. Put him in there with 10 minutes left. You're down by this, and let him throw the ball around. Just see what happens. See if it brings you a spark. To me, that's just dumb coaching. There's no purpose for
Terrible.
putting Tyler Thigpen.
I almost feel like I would
hand off the ball with
let's
two
say,
plays. For two
let's say,
plays.
remember when Edwards was
Fucking
there
idiot.
a couple of years ago? They just cut him. He was doing bad. He wasn't doing
The
it.
second week. He had one bad week in
Second
the
or third.
It was the second week. They cut.
Okay.
He started. He was a starting quarterback to start the season. He played bad, and they cut him. They got rid of him.
You could almost cut if they cut Fitzpatrick.
The problem is they have nobody right now.
Well, no, but I would be
even Thigpen.
as
I know
a fan,
you
though,
would, but yeah, but
I would watch Jackson.
But they asked him about him today. He says he's nowhere near ready to even getting on the field. So the guy must be a complete moron, a complete idiot. He sucks. He's not. He is because I don't know. I told you before this Jackson guy, and I almost forgot that he
Tavares.
was
Yeah,
I forgot he was even on the team. But they. I was watching like ESPN at the beginning of the season. They're talking about how other teams are going to do, and they got to Seattle, and they said to Seattle, well, they're starting a rookie, but whoever they start, it's between these two guys. It's got to be better whoever they had last year, and who they had last year is us, and that's who we thought we'd pick up. I still like the guy when we played Detroit. I think he was their third or fourth.
Oh, Sean Hill
played out of his mind.
He's the backup. He's their backup.
He's their backup right
and
now.
then Stafford gets injured. He comes in. He plays good.
The quarterback next year. I just don't. I mean,
well, another thing too
I'm
is
just going to keep following the Sabres.
They were able to run.
11 minutes.
And we'll end it here. Even though San Francisco could stop the run well, we were able to run on them. Yeah. Spiller had that nice run. Jackson was making some gains. Why the hell even throw the ball? It's like an idiot.
Yeah.
Just keep running it. At least you control the ball a little bit. It doesn't become 45-3.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
creating massacres on the
you
field.
You gave him that turnover, and it was a completed pass, and Chandler should have held on to it. But I think it might be a different game if we go in at 10-3. At 17-3, it really just took out the air right out of the ball. I mean, for us, we just totally deflated us. But we need to get on that roll. We need to learn how to win. And I don't know if Chan Gailey knows how to teach them, but let me ask you one question. Say we didn't pay Mario Williams $100 million and he just made the team off the street and he was in the game right now. Would you even notice him or even know that he was in the game?
No. But you know what, though? They all stink.
Yeah, they all do. But, I mean, you pay $100 million for a guy. I don't care about the money again. I always say that. They
can't coach him, obviously, though.
But you expect – we put all our hopes and dreams in this guy. That we got Bruce Smith again. I think even what's his name? Ralph Wilson probably said, what can we do? Who's out there? Who's the best thing? I'm at my deathbed. I just want to see him win one more time.
Gailey says, I don't know what to do.
And they pick up this guy. That's what I'm saying. Are they just that bad at?
They can't coach.
I mean, I never heard of
convinced.
Mario Williams, to tell you the truth, before. I don't know Andre Ware from underwear. You could ask Tony Baldy. But I never really saw Mario Williams playing. And I thought, who is this guy? Everyone's so high on him. They're going to give him all this money. But I'm just guessing. If they're that high on him and they're begging him to come, he's got to be something special.
Hey, you mentioned it yourself to me earlier. You said, hey, wouldn't you want to see Wade Phillips?
Oh, my God.
When Wade Phillips had him last year for a few games, he had like 5 sacks in like 3 games, or like a couple. He was, and then he got injured.
I would like to have anybody that could do something. And I think the biggest problem is we have the honeymoon with Chan Gailey and Stevie Nicks, is because we're so used to getting our brains beaten, and we're just hoping that these guys can do something. But the more I see it, 10 plays with Shepard, he's supposed to be your best linebacker. These linebackers, I thought, okay, go back to Ted Washington and Williams. And what's his name? Not Kyle Williams. Pat Williams. When those two guys are in the middle, they never ran in the middle. Nobody could run. Now they're running in the middle like it's butter going through there. But they had Sam Coward as the linebacker, and before he got hurt, he was on the pace to have more tackles than anybody in the history of the NFL. He was leading the league in tackles. We played Philadelphia that year. He had like 21 tackles in one game. All he had to do was guess where they're going, left or right, because they weren't going up the middle. And Darius and Williams are not stuffing the middle like they should.
I think it's scheme.
They're not stuffed.
I think it's scheme, and we're going to be on the Bill Cowher and John Gruden watch probably for the rest of the year.
Yeah, for the rest of our lives. We're never going to pick them up. Maybe we can get.
Hey, pick up $100 million
Blue Saban, we need
Come down
you.
with the halo.
They're killing
But,
me out there, Whitey. They're killing
we
me.
got that Williams. We got Williams, so we're willing to spend the money. Let's get a coach
Let's
and
get
a
a
quarterback
coach,
in this
yeah.
town. Because we don't have one now. We don't have either. And until then, we're going to continue to lose. Or be just good enough to where we'll never be able to
Yeah.
draft that top guy.
Well, yeah, so those are the three.
Because we're going to win 5 in a row. You'll see at the end.
Well, I know.
Win 5 in a row, and they'll
those
keep
are
Gailey.
those 3 straight years at 7-9 with Dick Duran.
Yeah.
And look who we drafted. We drafted Dante Winter, Leotis
Yeah, well,
McKelvin,
who's great, though.
And we drafted all these cornerbacks. Again, we drafted another cornerback this year. I don't want cornerbacks. I want big, fat guys on the line that just could rush the pass.
Yeah, and they see how big that Gilmore is. He looks like a skinny little twig out there.
Yeah,
He
but
doesn't do anything.
a rookie is a rookie cornerback.
kid.
I don't care how good he is. I mean, I know you need cornerbacks, and I know they need more important than anything. They need tough-nosed linebackers and linemen that could stop the run.
Well, we need something.
Need a lot.
See you next time.
Oh God, I hate being a Bills fan. God bless America. Go Sabres.